Microphone check. 1, 2. This is DJ Torch. No fancy intro yet, but I'm working on a fancy intro, but not yet. It's not ready yet. So, what I would like to do until then is play a jam that it was jamming last time we started our live stream. I think I'll go and put it in the mix right now. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see here. Here we go.
When we gather in the name of good, not for glory nor for gain, but to mend what's torn, to ease the strain. The veil grows thin, the air turns still, and the ancestors come as they always will. They rise from root to ash and flame, calling softly each true name. Their joy hums low in the hush between, a rhythm mode, a flame unseen. We are the ones that dream the drum, the rising sun, the work begun with every step. The story grows, the river moves where the spirit goes. Ashe, ashe, we walk in light, led by love, upheld by right. Welcome home, the circles wide, the ancestors walk by our side. Welcome, beloved, you who move with sacred care, bearing dreams too bold to spare. You whose hearts refuse to close, who plant love even where nothing grows. Bring your stories bruised and bright, your hands that shape both bread and light. Bring your laughter deep and wide, the kind that shakes the grief aside. We are the ones that dream the drum, the rising sun, the work begun with every step. The story grows, the river moves where the spirit goes. Ashe, ashe, we walk in light, led by love, upheld by right. Welcome home, the circles wide, the ancestors walk by our side.
All right, everybody, about to get this party started.
This gathering is not by chance. It is a call. It is a dance.
Gotta wait for everybody to file in, you know.
We are the flame, the whispered breath, the untold name. The circle opens wide and warm, a shield against the coming storm. Sit, speak, rise, begin again. With every act, the world can mend. We are the ones that dream the drum, the rising sun, the work begun with every step. The story grows, the rhythm moves where the spirit goes. Ashe, ashe, we walk in light, led by love, upheld by right. Welcome home, the circles wide, the ancestors walk by our side.
All right, all right, all right. Let me stop it before it starts over. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, DJ Torch on the 1 and 2 for you right here on this Saturday. Saturday, 6/21/25. Ain't no job. Oh man, it's just a shame to me to see, you know, dudes making stupid decisions that cost them dearly, but it happens every day. And it happens, you know, multiculturally too. But on the docket today, we have 50 Cent. And the concern I have is like people really respect these dudes. Not only 50 Cent, but YN Melly and stuff. And other dudes that are straight up like if they didn't have any talent, you would be calling them criminals or bandits. So it's weird how, because somebody has a little bit of talent, or maybe you could call it wherewithal, they somehow skeet by, you know, being judged properly. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm going to start off with one of my favorites. You're Triggered has something to say about 50 Cent. We're going to break it down right now. Here we go. Tonight, DJ Torch and Friends reactions. Here we go.
I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, here's another episode of Bitter Baby Daddies, episode 2, featuring.
Yeah, it's funny to me because everybody says bitter baby mamas and all this kind of stuff, but when you look at all the domestic violence stats and everything like that, it appears to me that it's the daddies that are the ones that are bitter.
And 50 Cent. Now, I, for one, find it absolutely diabolical that on Father's Day, instead of celebrating your fatherhood, posting pictures with your sons or posting a picture of you spending time with your sons, you are harassing the mothers of your children. Now, before I get into it, let me give y'all a quick disclaimer. This video is filled with my thoughts and my thoughts alone. Everything is all alleged. Nothing is factual. I do not know any of these people personally.
Neither do I. You know, and the thing is that you can tell when somebody has it's not a psychological disorder as far as like they cannot be charged with a crime, you know, because you know there's that immunity thing for like when you're when they find you crazy and all the kind of stuff. Nah, you can still have some symptoms of something that you should have checked and you didn't check it. So let me keep going. Here we go.
This is a commentary channel, and oftentimes I use clips and articles as part of my critical review. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let me say I was messy scrolling on Instagram, and I see blogs posting about 50 Cent sending a Father's Day message to his baby mama, Daphne Joy, saying, "Oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, little B word. I'll have full custody soon, little B word. You'll be back on OnlyFans in no time. Little B word."
Now, she's probably just going about her business, doing her thing, but 50 Cent's pathology comes out. It comes through. It comes clean. He couldn't help being a fucked up person. This is the things and the stuff that everybody kind of either ignores or doesn't want to see. Let me go on screen. So, let's keep it going. Here we go.
But how is your day going, little B word? Now, in my opinion, any judge that would give this emotionally unstable, volatile monster man full custody needs to be removed from his position. Now,
yeah, that right. And that's the funny thing is you notice how he's talking smack about getting full custody, right? Whilst displaying a behavior that the courts are not going to exactly look upon, saying, wow, that's what we want her father, this kid's father to do. No, in fact, he doesn't understand, and it's weird. It's the weirdest thing. These men who, and let's just call it banditry, who express banditry, they don't realize how they really self-snitch on themselves. Do you think that if he is really truly going to court, let's say he is truly in this court thing trying to get custody, don't ask me why, because he probably doesn't even give a F about the kid anyway, right? Why would you say something like that? Even if, I mean, why would you say something like that? I bet his lawyer, if he does have one, is just cringing like, dude, why? Okay. And then one thing that 50 Cent, I don't care how much money he says he has or he may have. The fact of the matter is that he's got a history that's not the best. Okay, and he has two women that he maybe was married to, not married to. Let me check and see whether he was married. Let me spit facts up in here. Let me spit the facts up in here. 50 Cent was 50 Cent married. I want to be factual. No, never married, but he did make a couple broken homes. What? Let me just put it on the screen just so everybody knows I'm not, there's the no right there, right? 50 Cent has never been married, according to video and Instagram account. In an interview, he indicated he's not concerned with marriage, but he has no problem making broken homes though. He has a son named Marquise Jackson with Shaquilla Tompkins, and another son named Sire Jackson by Daphne Joy. Okay, I guess Daphne Joy's the one that he's calling a B. Tiffany Jackson in the house. It's good seeing you. And so 50 Cent, I call him Fitty, because I don't think he's earned the right to be behaving the way he is and having his name said properly. So anyway, let me get back to the mix here. That's a problem. That is a problem. Here we go.
50 Cent's son by Daphne Joy is 12 years old, a preteen, and definitely old enough to probably have a phone or at the very least a tablet and have access to hearing what his father is saying about his mother. Why would you talk about your son's mother in that manner? Also, why would you expose his mother's involvement with Diddy? Regardless of how you felt about it, why would you harm his mother? You don't think that that's going to cause some type of rift between the two of y'all? It doesn't make any sense. Why?
Not only the two of y'all, if he's trying to get custody, that's going to cause some. It's almost like it's like this. If let's say he had a 50-50 chance of getting his child, now it's down to 30-70. Because they for some reason, no one believes their behavior will have anything to do. Phoenix in the house. Phoenix S6. Phoenix Soul in the house. Good seeing you, Phoenix Soul. They don't think it's going to have anything to do with how things turn out in court. That's like, this happens so much.
Why would you call your son's mother? Why would you call her out of her name, knowing that your son can see it?
And here's the funny thing. Remember how dudes always be saying, "Oh yeah, she's keeping me away from my son, or from my daughter, or from my son." But yet he doesn't realize that what he says about his mom, about what he says about the kid's mom, about his mom, doesn't that's just not supposed to piss him off. But when you have a condition that a lot of these men like 50 Cent have, then you can understand, because they think like they're fun. They think like their kids are going to be cool with that. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, you're keeping me from my kid." But all of a sudden, but you just exhibited the type of behavior no one wants a child to be in. This shoot, I tell you, if she's got an attorney, he's like, "Oh yeah, I just got it. Oh, this is all good here. This is all good here." And if he's got attorney, his attorney's like saying, he's going like this. "Oh my God, bro, why?" Here, I'll tell you what, bro. Maybe I can get you one day a week, maybe, if I'm lucky, if you keep it up, if you keep that behavior up.
You know, I'll just say this. The reason why he does these things is because he truly doesn't care about his sons. He doesn't. He doesn't care about either of them. And it's so many black men I remember saying like, "Oh, he's going to treat, Daphne better because she's foreign, because she's submissive. She knows what to do. That's why us black men, when we get money, we go outside and date these foreign women because they're going to treat us better. The outcome is going to be better. The sons are going to be better." But yeah, no. It didn't work out like that. Now, did it? And my thing is that, when you think about why 50 Cent crashes out like this, it's like, he feels like he deserves to be worshipped. And I really think that's where he's coming from.
And they do. And a man of his condition, he feels he should be worshipped. I have seen people who are nobodies behave the same way. They think they are king in a palace full of nobody. Ain't even got a palace. Most of them ain't got a palace. So let's not just say it's 50 Cent. There are other people who do the same thing and they ain't got shy. You know what I mean? Trying to stay, YouTube friendly. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
That he wants the mothers of his children to walk on eggshells with him, worship him. And if they do that, maybe, just maybe, he'll come around every now and again. Maybe, just maybe, he won't disrespect them publicly. But in my opinion,
It's a form of extortion in a way, where you're like punishing people for not praising you enough. 50 Cent has been doing that for a long time. But everybody loves him. No, what's the saying? "Oh yeah, we love you." Let me.
Sons are merely pawns to keep the mothers of his children in line. Daphne Joy had already posted that he very rarely sees their son. And
So that's the funny thing is, be careful what you ask for, Fitty. If they gave you your son, then basically you're not going to, you're going to just leave him alone while you do whatever you're doing? That's the weird part. I just don't get it. No accountability whatsoever.
Isn't that the exact same thing?
I mean, DDG did the same thing. He kept asking for, kept talking smack about, "I can't see my son. I can't see my son." Well, no, not at 4:00 in the morning. Guess who did that? What's that? Blueface did the same thing. "Well, what you doing out here? I can't see my son." Yeah, not at 4:00 in the morning. What part of 4:00 in the morning don't you understand?
That his first baby mama, Shaniqua, said, but everybody called her a bitter baby mama, a bitter black woman that was so super jealous of this foreign woman. Isn't that what people said about her? And my thing is that if you see
what I love about time exposes everything. It just does. It's basically how things work. I mean, you don't even have, time is going to do what it do. Sometimes time takes a long time. Sometimes time is, could be a week. You never know. No, let me not try to sing. Phoenix is here, so I don't want to hurt her ears. But time is on my side. That kind of stuff. And time is on these women's side because all they got to do is wait for old 50 Cent, to do 50 Cent things. And he gonna do what he do because he can't help it. I'm to that point now that it's like, look, they can't help it, ladies. They can't. If a dude does something weird, goes into bandit mode, it's because it's built into his circuitry. There's nothing you can do. Nothing. Let me go forward. Here we go.
He treated her like crap and thought he could get away with it. Chris Rock got married to his ex-wife Malak Compton in 1996 after dating for 2 years.
Chris is hella funny. He's funny. But he had some banditry up in him.
She quit her job and became a full-time housewife while he grew in the limelight. But Chris had two problems. One, he loved to cheat, and two, he thought he could get away with it as he was a rich and famous husband.
He loved to cheat. Oh man, we are going to be digging deep into that psychology too. Because if you saw the thumbnail, you see what's up. You see what's going down here. You see what's going down on YouTube town. Here we go.
His numerous affairs weren't enough. He started dating Rosario Dawson while still married to his wife and only filed for divorce so he could date her publicly.
Isn't that something? What how many kids does he have? Let's look back over here. So it's funny because if this was red pill land, they'd be saying, "Oh yeah, you gave your best years to a bandit, somebody low life, somebody you should have chose bandit, should have chose bandit." But they ain't saying it. But they ain't telling you Chris Rock is a bandit, though, are they? They're not telling this woman that you should have chose, but shouldn't have chose Chris Rock. She got 3 kids right there by this dude. Who knows? Maybe one of them ain't hers. Maybe two. You never know. And I like Chris Rock as a comedian, as an artist, but I know how to separate the artist between the artist and the human. Let me fast forward.
One, he loved to cheat, and two, he thought he could get away with it as he was a rich and famous husband. His numerous affairs weren't enough. He started dating Rosario Dawson while still married to his wife and only filed for divorce so he could date her publicly. He really thought he could get away with it after being married for 19 years. But Malak proved him wrong.
He stuck with him for 19 years through a lot. And it's funny because remember how people go, "Oh yeah, Snoop Dogg, he's been married for 25 years and cheated like 19 of those 25 years." But oh, no, my bad. The woman's supposed to deal with that shit. She's supposed to just put up with it. That's how, and watch. This is going to go somewhere.
Their prenup had just expired, and she employed a ruthless lawyer to get her pound of flesh. She demanded a huge chunk of his $70 million net worth and child support for a third child in their home that was neither his nor hers. Although the final details were sealed, Chris Rock confirmed he lost a lot, and he recommended her lawyer to his friend. So what do you think?
Dang, I mean, a lawyer's so good that after you get your ass whooped, you say, "You know something? If you got a legal situation, you need to hire her lawyer." That's the funny thing. That is crazy. But see, it's exhausting, but I got more for you. I got more. Should I go with Shiraz Ali right now? I think I should really. Yeah, I think this is the perfect time for Shiraz Ali. This is the perfect time. Here we go. Pause. Go forward a little bit. Here we go.
You say in your book, there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman
Right.
and never desiring to have another before
Right.
slavery, during slavery, or after slavery.
That's
the black
just the
man
truth.
has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right.
Ooh. Oh man. This is gold right here, y'all. I mean, you heard this is Shiraz Ali, who's like kind of like she's kind of like, she can have her pick me moments or whatever we want to call it, BMW. Let's call it a BMW moment because let's listen some more. Here we go.
Well, I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman. Neither have white men. This is just what they do. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one night stands and running around rampant with other women. That's not the kinds of, when I say more than one woman relationship.
Mhm.
I mean that.
I don't know. I mean, that seems to be what's going on. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Before we came to America, our men had more than one wife and family. And we were satisfied with it because we had not met the monogamy idea. We had not met the American white woman who, insists on certain kinds of values in her man. We had not learned envy and jealousy. All right. After coming here, those kinds of ideas were bred into us because of society and the mores that the Americans made up here. And so then we started to have problems with that. But I think that since it is apparent that most of them, not all of them, it's certainly up to the man, do love more than one woman. I got tons of mail. A lot of black men write and tell me that they have had two women for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and they can't even get the women to speak to each other. Sometimes they have.
And that's the funny thing is that these men literally think they are entitled, even though, but believe it, if cheating was supposed to be accepted, right? Then you would think that there would be laws to have more than one wife in the United States, but that's not the case. Do a lot of men cheat? Yes. Large amount? Yes. Should it be cool? No. Because of one simple theory. If you don't want that shit happening to you, don't do it yourself. But you see what happens when these dudes either think they're being cheated on or they are an ex-boyfriend and they don't want to be an ex-boyfriend. They're literally doing my Sunday show for me. Yes, sirree. And you've seen the Sunday shows. They're not all happy, are they? In that house, Tiffany Jackson, Cyber Dreams, and Phoenix Soul. If you're in the house, put a 1 in the chat. If the volume's cool, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. Here we go.
Have two families.
Would I want
sets
to?
of children.
But Sharon, would I want to talk to a woman who's sharing, perhaps the bed and the money and the social life with who I would deem as my man?
If you want
Exactly. I mean, even this young lady here, is breaking it down. Eden Adele, why is seeking knowledge is in the house. All right, here we go.
to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that robs you of something.
See, do you see the nastiness of this? The nastiness. I mean, she is literally trying to brainwash this woman into accepting the lack of monogamy. Let me bring that back a little bit. Let me bring it back just a little bit. You got to hear this shit.
I would deem as my man.
If you want to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that robs you of something. You would want to know them. If he loves her, you certainly should want to know her.
There are a lot.
Isn't that something? I mean, man, look, there are plenty of loyal men. I will say that. There are loyal men. There are plenty of them. Don't let this person brainwash you into thinking different. Because see, this is the breakdown. And this breakdown I'm going to tell about the joys of monogamy for men. It's very important for us to grasp. See, if you're being with people, being with women, spending time with them, going on dates, talking on the phone, and men too. I mean, it goes for women too. It takes up time. It takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of mental space. It takes a lot of mental energy. And so what's happening is that when you're going around, and then if you're cheating, then it takes a lot of further mental energy to make up all these false stories. So you can try to stay in the graces of, whoever you're with, right? So what's happening is that when you cheat, or even if the women know each other and they appear to be okay with it, you're still wasting a certain amount of time with satisfying your superficial needs. So instead of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a stable superstar of some sort, a CEO, you're really spending that time as a man. You're really wasting that time chasing after women. So if you don't become a success and you cheat and you do what things like Future does, or you do things like Nick Cannon does, that's why you're not successful. No, Future is not successful. He could have been more successful, but he's too busy spreading stuff around. So the problem is we have one of the most fiercest BMWs up here trying to convince Black women to accept cheating. Here's the funny part. That ain't funny. You're still going to be treated like shit. That's not going away. You think that allowing your dude to cheat would give you peace. At the very best scenario, it buys you time. But at the end of the day, if he's going to put hands, feet, a kitchen sink on you, he's still going to do it. It just may be delayed because he's busy doing that to somebody else who he's cheating on you with. Let's let Shirazes tell us some more. Let me calm down here for a minute. Here we go.
A lot of Black women out there who say,
I know they're mad about that idea. I understand,
that would never hold water.
Wait a minute, that's not easy. And that's a frightening thought to most of us. And I don't like that. I'm not for that. I'm in agreement with everybody else. Our men ought to just have one woman. But that is not the reality. I'm trying to get us to deal with some reality for a change. Stop dealing with
This
fantasy.
is a bad luck for black men. If she's trying to defend cheating, it's a bad look for black men, because though she tries to defend black men, and that she is definitely in the BMW sector, she is literally giving up on black men being good black men for black women. She's saying, oh yeah, if he puts she's basic, I guarantee you, I bet I'll find something somewhere where, yeah, it doesn't matter if he, smacks you a little bit here and there. I guarantee you I'll be able to find it sooner or later. Eden Adele says, word on the curb is that her own marriage is polygamous. Yep. So there's that, at least on her husband's side. Yep. And that's the sad thing, because see, again, it's really, men are so selfish sometimes that we do things that even work against our own interests. Many of us want to be CEOs. Many of us want to be kings. Many of us want to be managers. Many of us want to be, the head of a company. But if we're spending our time, fellas, poking around, no pun intended, those things that will make us successful are not happening. You only have 24 hours in a day. 8 is for sleep. Another 8 is for income. And then that last 8 is supposed to be for one for relationship, one maybe, and then the rest for your relationship you're supposed to have with success. But you chose having more sex instead. And if you're cheating, it's just sex. That's all it is. That's all it is. So when the words "I'm gonna" come out of your mouth, fellas, or even ladies too, but more so the fellas right now, because right now the ladies are beating the fellas. So let me break it down. So if the words "gonna" come out of your mouth, I'm going to, I got this thing about to happen, whilst cheating on your main squeeze, because that's all you demoted her to that. She's not your wife. She's just a main squeeze if you're, sleeping around. Well, you've basically betrayed yourself. That's why other cultures of men, they don't have as much sex as we do in our culture. They don't. An individual maybe, but overall we have the most. And nobody has made the correlation that maybe that's why we are the less successful. Yes, racism is around, that's there, but it's not the only reason. It's clearly not the only reason. Let me listen to this. Let me see.
Let's see. Stop dealing with television. Stop dealing with imagination of how we wish things were. Let's deal with them how they are, what it is.
See what I mean? Why do you have to deal with somebody the way they are when you don't have to deal with them at all? There are plenty of men. There's just not that many black men. There are plenty of men out there, black or not black, that are just looking for one woman, and they want to either geek out and invent something with the remaining time, or they're looking for to give and receive peace. Shiraza, with all due respect, has a kind of like a hood BMW mentality. She does.
Present tense. And
But
if we
because
deal with
that's
that,
happening
then
doesn't mean I have to like that or
no,
want
that
to
means
accept
that you
that.
can live in hell. That means you can live in doubt. That means that you can
Wait.
always be checking on your man. That means that you can.
So living in hell is wanting monogamy. That's what she's saying. That's the kind of brainwashing we got going on here. Man, this is, oh man. Hey, y'all, look. Some of these clips I do not watch until the show. So you can you best believe that this is really bothering me. But hey, it's a reaction night. Why Seeking Knowledge says, Tiffany, safety first. We need you, sis. There's male identified mammies can't outnumber us. Praying for you, safe passage right now. What Tiffany said, why Seeking Knowledge, hello, sis. So good to see you. I'm not I'm not ignoring you. Forgive my delayed response. I will be in and out for driving a little while, and so my response. So, hey, please, Tiffany, don't drive and text. We appreciate you. We know you're there, but we don't want you to be, in danger. And so why Seeking says, yeah, outnumber you. Yeah. So why Seeking Knowledge says this as well. It is so dry heaving that we are so carnal and sex driven. Our skills go so much further. So many inventions stolen by alabasters we created when we didn't have free will to bone. Bars. Bridget's in the house. Good seeing you, Bridget. Tevin's in the house. Good seeing you, Tevin. Tevin says, women fail to realize that being loyal to a man that sleeps with multiple women increases their chances of catching an STD. I mean, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Bridget says, hello, DJ Torch and Friends Empowerment Network. All right, let's keep. I'm gonna play a little bit more, but I'm starting to drive heat myself. And I'm a dude.
Be insecure and be, tearful. And that means you can be disappointed when you find out the real truth. And you don't want to have that in your life. None of us do. But in order not to have that, then we have to deal with some reality.
See, if a man is so, see, this is why you have to find a man who is driven for success, because he will, by logic, if he's a logical man, because men are not logical. If he's a logical man, he's not going to want to waste his time sleeping with other women when he could be more successful. She's thinking in bandit terminology. And what I mean is this. When you think in bandit terminology, you're thinking what bandits want, not men. There's BMW black male identified, and then you can be bandit male identified as well. See, you could tell that Shiraz is a woman who has given up. This is when she was younger. She was cute back in the day. I don't know how long ago this was, but it was a long time ago because she sure don't look like this now right now. And here's the funny part and the sad part. Nah, let me keep going.
And recognize that men are not limited in the way that women are. Men are able to love more than one woman. I'm not talking about.
That was a complete lie. If you really truly love somebody, you want that person. And the fact of the matter that she's making it sound like men naturally can love multiple women is really kind of disgusting, because I feel insulted, and I'll tell you why. That means our love doesn't mean shit. I mean, if we could love just anybody, if we could just love anybody and multiple women, then what's the point of that? Lowers our value, because to a woman who wants to just be loved and be it special, the point of being loved is that you're special to that person. And love is supposed to be the type of feeling that that person doesn't want anybody else but you. This is what masculine sounds like. This is what masculine sounds like.
About, as I said, just a random sexual relationship of fornication and adultery and all of that. I mean that there are many black men who have children by more than one woman. What does that
have to do with anything? See, she's using the fact that men have children with other women, meaning men love more than one woman. Love and children should be they should work together. But as you can see, especially if you check out the Sunday shows, that's not the case. These dudes are out here deleting their women. They're deleting their black male babies and the women with them at a record pace. And they do that because they don't even care. They don't even like that woman. It's not even to the like level. That's what's going down. I mean, that's just what it is. Here we go.
Those children, they need their father.
But if you would cheat on me.
No, the father should think if those kids need their father, then the father should be mature enough to be their father. And this is crazy to me.
Or walk out.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of
the men, if a woman has more than one man, she's called cheating. That came from the men. And I think it's in the Bible too. Let's keep going.
Men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. Mm-hmm. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and
wow, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. That's crazy to me. But let's keep going.
You want to talk all day long about traditional women. Where's your traditional woman? Oh, wait. None of them want a red pill streaming high value man.
This woman right here, Real Femme Sapien, is a BMW. I mean, well, she doesn't date black men, but you get the point. I mean, she's married to somebody, I think, too. But my point is this. She's right. Let's go back on it. I want to hear the beginning one more time. Here we go.
You want to talk all day long about traditional women.
Right. This is important to me because I've seen these men talk about, oh yeah, traditional women, blah, 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 blah. No women are traditional. You hear that all the time in the red pill spaces. But these dudes okay, are down with Shiraza Ali kind of stuff, where they're dealing with multiples. Whereas Kevin Samuels put it, he had a rotation of women. You see, do you understand? Do you see the red pill hypocrisy going down right now? Here we go.
Where's your traditional woman? Oh, wait. None of them want a red pill streaming high value man. And none of them are like, you know what I need? I need a red pill manosphere content creator. And I've actually had women DM me talking about, like, I went on a date with a red pill guy and oh no, that did not go well. Right? So it's like, or it's like, if you don't have a functional relationship, then you can't really give advice about relationships either.
I talk a lot about politics. It's no secret
Let me pause that right
that I'm a conservative. And
so let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to pop up. Oh, okay. So these are red pill women. Yes, women can be red pill too. Shiraza Ali is red pill. Completely, whether it be because they've been broken down or that they are just naturally have a certain level of narcissism, or maybe it's because they're trying to convince themselves that, you know, their cheating husband, it's okay for them to do that. They're saying what they need to say. Now let's see what this woman says. Here we go. I'm all over the world today. We mixing it up.
A lot about politics. It's no secret that I'm a conservative. And when this year I really got into reading about the red pill movement as it relates to dating and relationships, what I found is that a lot of the men in the red pill movement were politically conservative. Not all, but the vast, vast majority. Why do you think that's the case?
I think that, okay. So I've been asked this a dozen different times.
At least at least in Black manosphere, that's not true. Because we all know that Passport Bros claim to be conservative, and we know that Black red pill men claim to be conservative, and we know that Kevin Samuels claimed to be conservative, and we know that Angry Man claimed to be conservative. But if you were to look at their actions and their history in life, there's nothing conservative about what they do, whether it's cheating on their wives, short-lived or not, whether it's having kids out of wedlock, that's not conservative. And this also bleeds over to, you know, Caucasian men as well, like Elon Musk, who has like 10 wives and who knows how many kids. That's not conservative. But they make up their own world, if you know what I mean. Tiffany breaks it down perfectly. Why? You are such a real sis. No worries. No driving or texting over here. I have stops I have to make on my way home. You and DJ Torch are so precious for looking out for me. Hey, look, we got to. Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down. High value man will not jump through women like they do, right? They value themselves too much, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is that they obviously, if somebody is cheating on somebody with either a man or a woman, because these days you don't know. I mean, I've heard things about 50 Cent, you know, bouncing around with some men. So if this is the kind of stuff that's going on, these men, if no man is walking, oh, I love to cheat, they're not walking out here going, oh, I love to cheat. They're not saying that. The reason why they're not saying that is because cheating is a shameful thing, as it should be. Because especially when you're leading somebody to believe that they're the only one.
first of all, I was never really a Trump supporter, but I voted for Trump because he was a much better choice than Hillary Clinton. And I voted for him again because he was a much better choice than the dementia-addled Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
So I
myself, I mean, it's like this. He was disqualified in my world just because I didn't like his moral values. But if I don't know, I think I might take the dementia side because see, the thing is that really presidents don't do everything. I mean, they don't run the military. They might, ask for shit to be done, but they don't run anything. So basically, let me break it down. Let me keep it going here. Let me keep it going because this is crazy here.
Made the best choice, but had I can remember I got run up the flagpole for this during the election season when there was the debate between Biden and Trump, and I'm like, are these two guys really the best we can do?
Right.
Right. At least he admits by saying that. That is the argument I've been making for a long time to people everywhere. I understand. Look, if you look at Trump's history, you can like him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking a person, whether you like what he did or not. I don't like what he did. But you have to ask yourself, is he really the best white man ever? I mean, that's who you want. If you want a white guy, right? That's fine. That's cool. But when you want the best one ever, the most knowledgeable one ever, the smartest one ever, something ever, wouldn't you? I mean, and so as you can see, the good doctor in that little point right here, he agrees with me.
Are these two guys really the best we can do?
Right.
And think about it. Germany's laughing at him. France is laughing at him. Canada's laughing at him. Because they're saying to yourself, they're looking at us as Americans all together. And they're saying, you guys chose him. They're not going to say it out loud. But that's what they're thinking. And it brings us to my next situation. Man, I am bouncing all over the place, which is this.
I'm a Republican Latina. Of course they're going to tell me that I have.
Let me get some volume on this because this is a little bit low. I told you it'd be all over the place tonight.
Have a nopal en la frente. I'm a Republican Latina. Of course ICE doesn't scare me. I'm a Republican Latina. Of course they're going to call me racist. Before you see this one, just letting you know for all the softies on the internet, you guys are going to be mad. I'm a Republican Latina who can do both. I'm a Republican Latina who only believes in two genders. I'm a Republican Latina. Of course the lefties are going to tell me that I'm going to be deported. I'm a Republican Latina who 100% believes that Jesus should be put back in the classrooms. I'm a Republican Latina, and I don't support no fucking rainbow flag. I'm a Republican Latina, and I believe that if you came here illegally, you could get the fuck out. I'm a Republican Latina who's anti-abortion. I'm a Republican Latina who believes in protecting our borders.
Let's keep it going.
I'm a Republican Latina who likes my culture, but I love my country more. I'm a Republican Latina. Of course they're going to call me a torta. I'm a Republican Latina, and of course I believe in keeping dicks out of women's sports and bathrooms. I'm a Republican Latina, and of course they're always going to tell me I will never be like them, aka white. I'm a Republican Latina. Of course I'm going to be called a traitor. I'm a Republican Latina, and of course I'm not going to be claimed by the raza. I'm a Republican Latina.
Okay, I think we get the message, right? Okay, let me go here. Oh, look.
That follows me. I am honored that we not only met in this historic day, women for Trump, Hispanics for Trump, Latinas for Trump, and we have a bright future as women. We are the future of this country. We know what a woman is. We defend women, and we're all for.
Henry Mars is in the house.
Happy Trump! Viva Trump! Viva Trump! Si se pudo.
I have so many Hispanic haters down my DM.
Okay, so you get the idea. I'm not going to play all of this. Let's get to the mix.
Don't feel bad.
Florida for more than half his life and worked for the same construction job for many decades. Every day that goes without him here is a day lost forever. This is about being human, about love, connection, and presence. The one thing he needs the most is the one thing that we're being kept from giving him, which is us. I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his vital memories be of those of pain and isolation.
So they were proud, loud, cheering for mass deportation, standing at Trump rallies like they made it, right?
I think you get the gist. And you know what's funny is that a lot of the red pill black men, they thought just like that this is a cross-racial thinking. Okay. First of all, it's like this. When you have a bit of, I guess, narcissistic tendency in you, you like to weaponize situations. And as you know, red pill black men were defending Trump and saying and dissing, other people. I mean, not, other people stating that, hey, what are you going to do for me? Remember that rap? They were saying that stuff. What are you going to do for me? I want, child support forgiveness. They didn't. Have you noticed any black men raise that now? Have you seen them talk smack? No. So it's a type of mental state these people are in. And that's why FAFO season, it does hit hard. Let me go back and see if I can find a spot.
Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his vital memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
So apparently it sounds like her father was arrested, I'm not saying I am not going to be the person that says ha 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 or anything like that, because this is terrible. But what I will say is that maybe I guess we got about 4 more years, literally 3.5 more years of this. He can move out, he can get rid of a lot of people. In that amount of time, black people, we stuck here. We stuck, whether we wanted to leave or not. Yeah, Bridget says, it will be us next. If they can figure out some way of finagling some law, they will. That is true. Henry says, they don't understand the true struggle. They bought into the propaganda machine and hate of equality. Mars. Henry Mars.
These days it would be for me to say that I wasn't thinking when I voted or that I don't watch the news. I had to ask myself the same question that hundreds of you are asking me, is why did I vote the way I did? I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation or like blindfolds were ripped off my eyes. I started seeing things differently. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. I started to realize that it wasn't just this one choice I made. It was kind of a accumulation of choices I've been making for years. Like for example, when I had my first daughter, I never taught her Spanish because I didn't care to have her learn Spanish. And after having my second daughter, I kind of knew that I was a hardworking man. He raised me and my four siblings, and now he's fighting for his life in a cell. I'm still fighting.
That's well, I think this is why you do your homework before you fill out the ballot. Fill out that homework. Yeah, Henry is right. He complained about Juneteenth holiday, which is really our 4th of July, by the way. Yep. I think the fact that he mentioned it, Henry, he is going to, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah. It's gone. Because I believe his excuse was because there's too many holidays. So there's all these other holidays, right? That they could take away. But no, he's going to try to take those away. Because because he loves black people. Let me go further in the mix.
They choose Trump's America over their own blood. And Trump, he never promised protection, just
You're not popping pills every time you go to a music festival. Talking about legality when you don't even file your taxes correctly or claim all your tips and wages. Talking about legality as if you're not dating that thug ass boyfriend that's a scammer, drug dealer. One, you don't give a shit about the law. And two, you talk about don't bread on me. I limited government. Yeah, you're rooting for a militarized force to go against protesters. Those hippie liberals from California, those deranged freaks, are way more anti-establishment than than you gun-toting liberty defenders will ever fucking be. You're a bootlicker.
I was discussing with my mom the family members that we have who are Trump supporters. One, we understand she's born here in the United States. I don't know how many generations American. So she didn't grow up the way that my family from Mexico grew up. So
I know it sounds weird for me to make this weird correlation, but if I start to see black men complaining about police brutality after they either voted or supported a man who specializes in it, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about it. You get the same FAFO smoke too. You get the same FAFO smoke. I mean, between black men voting, and the Latino community could completely change the whole landscape of the election. It wouldn't, in fact, I don't even think it would be close. Oh, well, that's all I can say. I'm just going to hunker down and keep saying, oh, well, that's what I'm going to do. Henry Mars says, those black red pillars who voted for him, what have they gotten yet? Oh, you know what they got? They got threatened. They got Juneteenth threatened. I know Trump has done some rights. Remember, I think he's killing DEI, which would at least help some of the black red pillars. I know they didn't get child support forgiveness because I haven't heard it. He's promised to he's promised to release some criminals. I know he's did that, a couple criminals to keep us happy, but that's about it. Remember, he was toying around with the idea of letting Diddy go. So Henry Marr says, those black red pillars who voted for him, what have they gotten? They brought in, yeah, really. They brought in Caucasian South African refugees already. Yep. Why seek knowledge? Oh no, and I have a hiccup. Human. If you have no hue, apparently you are not the true human who possesses humanity. Yeah, I like that. Ghost is in the house. Corsia is here. Good to see you. Here we go.
She doesn't understand. She's very religious, so I think we don't agree with her political views, but we can see why she is gravitating in that direction. But there's a couple of other ones who were actually born in Mexico who crossed over illegally. And now they both are citizens, one in the military, the other one married to a United States citizen. And we just can't fathom why they would support someone who is so against who is so against their very existence and their families. Like, it just makes no sense. But I think we got to the bottom of it. I think what it is that they are dying inside to be white. They live in an area that's full of white people, if I remember correctly. I don't really have a lot of communication with them, but they are most definitely dying to be white people. And they're bending over backwards and fucking smiling at the racist jokes. But they don't care because they don't see themselves as one of us. They want to be them so bad that they allow the racism and the insults to our people, and they take it with a smile. And I think that's Latinos for Trump in a nutshell. Like, if they voted for Trump and they're Latino, specifically those who are actually immigrants from other countries or first, even second generation Latinos. Sorry, I was rudely interrupted by someone, but
those are some big, big old glasses that I have never seen glasses that big. They look cool though. I think they would look good on me if I was at a DJ gig or something though. But anyway, I think we get the gist of that. We did get the gist. Last live stream, I believe it was Ladies' Night. We had this. I think we had. He was. I guess we could say he was a bigot who came to the. He came to the stage and he was saying some bigoted stuff. And the shame of it all. You know who I thought about first out of all the bigots in the world?
Black people can't be anti-Semitic. We are Jew. You understand what I'm saying? We are Jew. So cool out. Until you do your facts, until you really do the facts with the fake indoctrination that y'all pull into the schools and all that, you know what I'm saying? We're not following y'all rules. I mean, just like calling.
Yeah. This is the first person who came to my mind. I'm sorry.
Just when you thought Kanye West's deterioration
is blatant, and it's, a lot of people like to say that it's veiled, that you got to like open up your third eye or something and figure out what he's trying to say, and it's a commentary on critique on censorship and things like that. The only problem with that for me, even as an artist, is that he has echoed these statements in interviews before this. He's doing this for the past couple of years. Jews control everything. The Jews ruined my marriage and my family, and they're behind every evil thing in the world. And then talking about how great the Nazis were and how great Hitler was. So him putting all this in a song, it's really hard for me to see that he's just making a different point when he's literally been saying these things directly in talks with interviewers like this one that we're having now. So it's to me, it's, one, I think it is a big marketing ploy because it's a way they can get into the spotlight, but he's also doing, I think, spouting beliefs that he actually holds about Jews, and that's why it's so problematic. And the thing that's even more problematic is so many millions of people who are supporting and defending him for this song, who on one hand they say, he's not really saying that, you guys have to really listen to what he's saying. And then if you dig a little deeper, they'll say he's not wrong about what he's saying about Jews, by the way. And so
Black people can't be anti-Semitic. We are. It's like calling DEFCON on Jews, and that's like, do you take back any of that sort of more extreme stuff? You know what? For all the kids that love me, all the Jewish kids that love me, I'm sorry if y'all had to hear a grown-up conversation with us screaming at each other. But we got to a point where something needed to happen.
Yeah. I don't know this dude. By all, people of the world, I don't know this mofo right here. Wise Knowledge says it perfectly and better than I ever could. She says, this brainwashed personality disorders having Stockholm Syndrome victim is too tiresome to watch. Did a Jew put him on the casting couch? Exactly. He stays obsessing. Bars. Anti-Blackness benefits those seeking to be near whiteness. Many other races will throw Black people beneath the bus to appease those folks. Bars. No self-hating ninja is gonna ruin my native pudding shake. Oh, that sounds. Remember now, Ghost. We gotta have that. We gotta have that cooking show. In fact, you know something. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's bring up
Hey, yo. All right. It's all about
Okay, this is the weirdest thing you're ever gonna see. This is the weirdest thing.
Click that link in the description. If you guys are on your phone, you can pull out your phone, pull out your camera, you know what I'm saying? Scan it, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna bring it right up. Make money playing games. It's that simple. Play 2 games, you feel what I'm saying? Level up, you're gonna make some money. All right, Kai, so you already know how the first round goes, you feel what I'm saying? I got No Neck here co-hosting with me. You feel man, how you feeling, bro? What you gotta say to Kai, gang?
We ain't Cali with it, you know what I'm saying? It's hometown, ain't it? So I'm saying they finna turn up for you.
So they finna turn up?
No cap.
Okay. All right, so look, you feel what I'm saying? We're gonna bring up the first guy. If you like him, based off first impression, you say yes. If you don't, say no.
Okay. Got it. Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm getting you.
I'm good. I like that puppy though.
Thank you.
Could I pet the puppy?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, thank you. What's the puppy name?
She don't got a name yet.
Okay.
Hey, don't pull my dog.
What the hell you doing, man?
What the hell?
Hey, what is that?
Good, you feel me?
What's good?
Left, get up out of here.
Yeah, bro, you out because you just.
Oh, what? I mean, why? Next, I knew you were gonna see that. Next someone wasn't blessed with. Oh man.
Harass the puppy.
You just grip them off, bro.
Like weird as hell.
How you doing?
Good in you.
I apologize about bro. I don't know why he
Yeah,
grabbed
he
the dog
just
like
pissed
that.
me off.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
What made you start cooking?
Cause once I moved out, just started cooking for myself. Got tired of eating out every day.
What do you do besides that?
I braid hair.
I followed you around that time.
Rena West.
You follow me around that time? Okay, you can stay.
You did my homegirl hair. Appreciate it.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you. My name is AZ.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. From me. All right, cool. I would love.
Hey, let's go through some things. Let's rate the attire and other stuff. But you guys got to do it. Here we go. So I don't know. I'm not wearing that. Myself. That's not a fit I would put on.
Love to learn how to cook. You feel me? Put me on game.
You know what do you know how to cook? Nothing.
Eggs.
That's
You
it.
feel me? That's cool. I learn fast. You feel me?
He only knows how to cook eggs. You don't know how. He don't know how to cook and clean.
All right. I'll teach you.
All right, cool. You
One
teach me?
day. Yeah, I'm gonna have some classes one day.
All right, cool.
Okay, you can stay.
All right, bet. Man, so you know how to cook eggs.
Okay. You see
That's
them
crazy.
black for ones? That's a dangerous chef.
Yeah, I can't talk. I be burning eggs.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
What's
meet
your
you.
name?
Tyreek Ra.
Tyreek. Okay, where'd you get your glasses from?
I got my glasses from like a vendor on Melrose.
Oh yeah, that's
I've been
right.
on Melrose a lot, yeah. I like how the dog matched your gray outfit. It's like synergy, like
Yeah, Brina brother, she's been crying a lot lately. Yeah, because she got some of that bandit love. You know what I mean? Dude's treating her bad too. the same thing that happened to Holly is happening to Kaya. That's the best description I can give you. Same thing. The only thing that is really lucky for Kaya though is that she is not chained to a child like Holly is now. So no dude is going to show up at 12. Well, he's not supposed to at 4 a.m. asking for his kid, using his kid for an excuse.
I don't know how she met. Her eyes.
The eyes, bluish,
Bright
gray.
eyes.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
gray. That's dope.
Okay, it's gonna be a lesson for me today.
Phoenix is like, what the is this show? Dang, Phoenix on fire.
I'm a vegetarian too. You know,
I cook a lot of meat. We ain't gonna work.
you ain't gonna cook no vegetarian?
Yesterday we made vegetarian cornbread.
Yeah, vegetarian cornbread.
You want to eat vegetarian cornbread?
I
not
can eat
me.
all sides. You know, the beans.
I don't eat beans. I'm
No
a picky
beans?
eater.
How long you been vegetarian?
Like 8 years.
How that's going?
That ain't gonna work.
What do you see the difference between being vegetarian and like, have you ate? I don't want to say this. This sounds ditty as hell. Have you ate like chicken and?
Yeah, I ate all that.
So you don't like it, or?
It's just a discipline. Like I like try to discipline myself. I try to like balance everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like drink, even sugar, salt, all that stuff. That's like bad.
Bridget, another meat market show.
I try to like.
Well, you know, you can stay actually, cause I need that balance.
All right, this is dope.
You don't drink Kool-Aid?
No. When I was a kid, when I was in the project.
All right, she said you could stay.
All right, good. All right.
I told y'all, man. So look, Kaya actually got her money, man, by playing the games. I told y'all. All y'all got to do, man, is download, test.
Okay, let me fast forward a little bit.
We'll talk about this next round.
All right, right.
She said, "Hey, so he's staying."
He can stay.
What's the word? How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Samari, aka Cooking with Mari. So, how you doing?
So wait, you cook?
Yeah, I be cooking.
You got a cooking page?
Yeah, I got a cooking.
How many
page.
followers you got on there?
What, like 70K right now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did your little training. That shit started doing.
For real?
Yeah.
So you copied?
I wouldn't say I copied my own little swagger on you. Feel me?
Let me see your intro.
You want some my intro?
Yeah.
I go like Cooking with Mari. Tell me you feel the Mari.
No, because you sound like.
You see, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why, rubbing his belly like a, never mind.
You sound like Moolah.
I sound like Moolah.
Yes, you sound like Moolah.
I wouldn't say all that. Yeah.
It's a left today.
No, it's a left.
Why are you saying left? I feel like he took inspiration and you know what I'm saying. He fucking what you got going on.
You didn't give me credit for it.
What do you mean? I just said I copied your training. You feel me? Because I fuck with it. But I mean, that's cool. That's how you treat your supporters and shit.
That's not.
See, I thought, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about before. How, let me put him on Mass 2. Okay, not him. Marty. Let's put Marty up here. Marty had a great opportunity to link up professionally with someone who has 2 million subscribers. I think they would make a great team professionally for cooking food. But he couldn't help himself. He didn't think about his career, if it is cooking with Marty, right? What he did think about is getting freaky on this show by rubbing his belly, showing it too. That's exactly what I was talking about. Now, if he's not where he thinks he should be, then why is he trying? Why is he? And at this time, Kaya had a boyfriend, or still has a boyfriend, or something, right? I'm sorry if I'm up there, I'm like, hey, look, if I'm Marty, I'm like, and I could cook, right? Let's say I could cook. I'm like, hey, yeah, I got 70,000. We should do some cooking shows together, have some, do some comedy and shit. I'm not going cooking with Marty and rubbing my belly and shit. I ain't doing that. No. I'm trying to be a success.
I wouldn't say all that.
It's a left today.
No, it's a left.
Why are you saying left? I feel like he took inspiration and you know what I'm saying? He fucking what you got going on.
No. He creeped her out. He creeped her out. That's what happened. And he thought she would bite. She didn't bite. Corsia, aka Ghost, says dogs are not accessories. Too many animals get the shaft from their owners when they are not perfectly behaved arm candy. They grow up and they need to be trained and cared for. Bars. Henry Mars, USA just dropped bombs on Iran. Yep. Some people will be surprised. I'm not. Nope. Wasn't this the person, the president, the one who said, "Oh yeah, we need to, all the Dems do is drop bombs and shit," and then he's doing the very same thing, barely into his the first quarter of his term. That's crazy to me. That's what I find weird.
You didn't give me credit for it.
What do you mean? I just said I copied your trend. You feel me? Because I fuck with it. But I mean, that's cool. That's how you shoot your supporters and shit.
That's not. Don't put it like that. Don't put it like that.
I mean, shit. That's what it sounds like.
No, it sounds like you copying Moolah, not Kaya.
Okay. I'm not really copying anybody, but I feel it.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good in you.
And he messed it up. All he had to do is talk about cooking. That's all he had to do. I'm so frustrated for him, but he did it to himself. All you had to do, bro, was talk about cooking. That's all you had to do. And you, all you had to do is talk about cooking. And you were on to the next round. Oh, man. You just don't understand. Did you see how he forgoed success to creep her out? What made him think she's like that? Let me get going. Here we go.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My name's Sean.
You from out here?
No, I'm from Baltimore.
For real?
Yeah.
What you doing out here?
I just moved out here.
I hope the men see what women have to put up with, and maybe you will be more understanding.
Oh. Okay.
How's cooking content going for you?
It's fun.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I need to start posting more. I'm not really consistent, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to learn how to cook. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how to cook.
For real? You don't like cooking at all?
I mean, like simple stuff like breakfast, like little stuff like that. Other than that, I don't know how to cook nothing else.
Mars, Enadel, those who lack sexual discipline are unfit for leadership. Bars.
Okay, you can stay.
Boy, none of that said you burn noodles and shit.
Be honest.
No, that's one thing I know how to cook noodles.
Okay. You cook the noodles.
Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. I just met Kaya. How you doing, though?
Good in you.
I'm doing all right.
What's your name?
My name Damon. They call me Shady.
You from out here?
I'm from IE.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm from Paris, California. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
How you
what
like it out
think?
there?
It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing too much out there. Ain't too much going on. You know what I'm saying? We slow motion, but slow motion better than no motion. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Just that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you think? Anything you want to say? Anything?
The shoes is fly.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You got a little chill little fit on today.
Yeah, I didn't want to do too much.
Exactly. Ball fumbled for the Making It with Marty show.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like your little Frenchie too. Bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, hold on, bro. I got a question. So what's up with the gold? Like that's a Cali thing, bro?
I mean, shit, I ain't never really had change, so I got it when I can. You know what I'm saying? Put it on as I can. You know what I'm saying?
For real?
Yeah, I don't really do too much jewelry or nothing, so you know what I'm saying? It's all new to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all it is for real. But yeah, okay.
Why thinking that? No, let's just say she's looking good. They listening to Red Pill Take Talking Points, making them misfire.
I appreciate you too.
How you doing?
Good in you.
All right. I'm on here with the Miss Cooking with Kaya. Look, you got all the females mad out here and shit. Though,
I know.
Hey, look, I got one question.
Look, I'm still You know what's funny is I never saw any women really get mad at Kaya. They never really did. And I tell you one thing though, after she started complaining about that bandit boyfriend, or I should say situationship friend she had, they turned on her quick. Like it was like snap, 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 snap. That quick. Here we go.
Actually, though, you know how to make the good food, and you do it good.
Mhm.
Can you make the ghetto Kool-Aid with it though?
Yeah.
Oh yes, see, it's A1. Like your fit too. You fly.
Thank you. You too.
So, thank you.
I like your tattoo. What's your favorite tattoo?
My daughter's name,
Where?
Bella.
Where?
Look, I got so many. Look.
Oh, so that side.
Well, I mean, I guess it is, she's in trouble if she likes tattoos like that. Oh well, I can't help you.
That's your only kid?
Yeah, no, I got 3.
Go says, I think I got the same outfit he has. Fashion Nova for all seasons. Are you sponsoring?
Are they all on you?
Yeah.
Oh wow, where the other ones at?
Oh shit, I got.
You lost them?
Bailey, I got Bella right here. I ain't got my.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's enough. I just wanted to throw that on there because I thought that was crazy. Let's go here. Wait. Okay. Let's get on to Elon. Here we go.
Tesla is still very much in trouble, and both investors and insiders in this company are pointing the finger at one man, Elon Musk. And that seems fair. Dude got all the credit when things were going well. Shouldn't he get the blame when things are going poorly? Particularly when it seems to be so perfectly timed with him entering the public eye and government service and making such a mess of it. And so they're trying to exert a little bit of control over him to save the company. Major pension fund leaders holding nearly 8 million Tesla shares are urging the board to make Elon Musk commit to at least 40 hours a week to the company, citing his distractions, including a recent political role, as a, quote, cause for serious concern. They're calling for a clear succession plan and stronger leadership as Tesla faces its worst sales drop in years and a 36% stock plunge last quarter.
That's a lot. Man, that's crazy.
Alone. So this is considered like crossing a major line. Oh my God, they're doing this. But think about what they're doing. They're saying the CEO should have to work 40 hours a week. Every one of us is expected to work at least 40 hours a week. Why is it that the guy who's given billions and billions and billions of dollars in bonuses is not held to the same standard that I was held to when I worked like campus catering at Fairfield University or whatever? Like as a waiter, a bartender, I worked more hours than this and I wasn't the CEO of nothing. And so let's end this thing where the richer people are, the lower expectations we have for them, particularly when he is so repeatedly and needlessly damaging the reputation and the value of this company. And so they're trying
just to let you know, just in case nobody knows this, he did not invent the vehicle. He did not invent the Tesla vehicle. He had a stroke of genius and did make them very popular. But I think, quite honestly, when you think of Tesla cars, the vehicle, the designers should get the love because basically the car sells itself unless you're a jerk.
Check him a little bit. The criticism is not just coming from them. So a former Tesla general manager has now gone public saying the problem is demand. The problem is Elon. This is Matthew Labrat. He founded a group called Tesla Employees Against Elon. He said loyal customers began walking away when Musk's public behavior and politics shifted. His warning, it's game over unless he steps down. And so the thing is that—
Dang, that would be a trip if he did step down. Wow.
Elon Musk has like the exact energy of I'd rather it go down than me step down. Elon Musk could just go pursue what one would think was his true passion in life, which is propositioning women on Twitter with cups of semen. He could spend all of his time on that. It could be a very well-funded endeavor. He doesn't have to be involved in any of these companies. And yet he wants to be. He wants that control. He wants that power. Here's a little bit more from what that former general manager says. We noticed customers, return customers, shying away from us a little bit. And that's when I started to see the things he was putting on Twitter and the political views he started to have. The people that he was choosing to support were the exact people we've been fighting against while trying to accelerate sustainable.
Right. I mean, see the sustainable thing, the nature thing, the saving the ozone thing, that was really a blue thing. It was a blue thing. It was. So I was always confused why he shifted, but clearly it's because he was he's crazy. At least. But yeah, male ego on crack, and that's funny you mentioned that, Tiffany, because we're about to go to that part of it. But no, it's like the worst thing. See, the people that Elon is trying to align himself with now are the people who want to, who drive gas guzzlers, who don't care about the ozone, who think all that fuel efficiency, all that kind of stuff is full of crap. That's who he's aligning himself with. That's the weird thing about it. It's like what you're selling is not what you're saying. That's the weirdest thing in the world.
Energy. And in terms of the numbers, we've talked about that a little bit, but let's update that. Global sales were down 13%. I've always been told in a capitalist economy, you want your sales to be going up quarter on quarter. European sales dropped 49%. Protests at showrooms and model-wide delays piled up. And
oh man, you know what happened? They pulled out the derug part about it. Let me see if it's I got one that's got it in there. This might be it right here.
Well, it's a very sad case.
I'm going past that. Okay.
His consciousness has left his body and it is floating around outside of our solar system. Turns out, no, he wasn't actually.
Okay, watch this part right here. Watch the way he moves his head. Watch this. This is very creepy.
We win. We can't lose that case because we have the right to make grants. We're not going to make any grants like that. But I don't think Harvard's been acting very nicely. I think Columbia wants to get to the bottom of the problem. They've acted very well. And there are other institutions too that are acting, but Harvard's trying to be.
Now, you see his shiner? You see his shiner? Let me bring it to his shiner. He stole somebody else's wife, right? And let me play.
Well, it's a very sad case. It's a case we win. We can't lose that case because we have the right to make grants. We're not going to make any grants like that. But I don't think Harvard's been acting very nicely. I think Columbia wants to get to the bottom of the problem. They've acted very well. And there are other institutions.
I'll be honest with you. If I saw somebody make these movements like at work or the gym or something, I would call 911 and say somebody is having a stroke or something. I really would. I'm being serious.
They're acting, but Harvard's trying to be a big shot.
Now, that is a recent video from the Oval Office of certifiable genius Elon Musk. And you know when it was from because he has the black eye that Stephen Miller Besant gave him or whatever.
Yeah, Stephen Miller whacked him because he's mad because he took his wife. So, I mean, is that a bandit move or what? I mean, he literally took somebody else's wife, and he's got like, what, 10 other women? Henry Mars says, dude's on drugs. Always has been. Has always been.
And a lot of people saw that video and said, that is a guy who is, technical term I think is tripping balls, okay? His consciousness has left his body and it is floating around outside of our solar system. Turns out, no, he wasn't actually high there because
Why is Sikadala says Elon is eye rolling and dry heaving. LOL, he can't stand how stupid Trump is. That might be it. That's another one. Who knows?
He put this
might be both
message out on Twitter of his supposed drug test with just the message "lol," and you're not gonna be able to on mobile.
Now anybody knows that at a given time you can be clean. Now, plus he only did. You'll listen to it, but he only did the urine test. That's like there's 50 other tests. Literally, there's 50 other tests that people have to take to confirm.
You're not gonna be able to read it, but it lists a whole bunch of drugs: ecstasy and cocaine and ketamine and methadone and oxycodone, and it's all negative or normal. He wasn't found to have had any drugs in his system, which is strange because people around him, both in government and his businesses, say that his drug use is a constant problem. He has previously talked about his drug use. He tweeted multiple times about using ketamine, supposedly for his brain chemistry, even though he apparently was using so much of it, even recently, that it was affecting his bladder. But I guess not. I guess.
Ew, you know what that means. Ew. Henry Mars, he has 14 recognized kids and allegedly 100 others. Wow, 100 others. He wants to populate the earth with dump people.
All of that was fake news, including from him. He wasn't high at all. And I don't think that is good for him though, because that was at least a plausible explanation for the video we saw. Like has those weird, trippy, spaced out moments because he's high. If he's not, then what is that?
Yeah.
What is going on with them?
I want to know too.
Like he is on camera.
Maybe he has this might explain it. I'm not trying to defend him. Maybe he has a little bit of Tourette's syndrome or something, or whatever you call it. And we just never knew. Maybe he has drugs for it that make him stand upright. But maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying he does. Not by any means, no. But that would help explain it.
Standing behind the president of the United States during an official briefing. And he is, man, he's
Elon being
seeing cosmic toads floating around in front of him. He's partying, dancing with Willy Wonka in there, except not apparently. What do you think?
Look, on that paper are psychedelic mushrooms, because I looked up what could make you, the drug test or whatever, act like that and, just kind of like be doing that little groovy thing he was doing. And if those aren't on there, I'm just telling you what it looks like. The other thing is, was this a pee test? Because they need to test your hair, first of all, from what I've heard in my reporting days. Number two, in the
let me pause it right there to the stage. Concrete Ghost, how you doing tonight?
I'm so full. That shake was just what I needed.
See, there you go again. Y'all be talking. We have to do a food show. That's just the way it goes. Because at least, and I will be prepared to. I will be eating all through the show. I'm not going to say anything. So have your friends come up. We'll have Why Seeking Knowledge come up. Phoenix Soul come up. Y'all can talk all about food all night. I won't care because I won't be able to talk because I'll be too busy eating.
If you eat on camera, you might get new audience. Feeders are a thing,
Yeah. So give me your thoughts on Elon. What do you think?
Him crazy. No, I mean, all these women that are sleeping with them is because of his money. If he didn't have any money, they wouldn't bother even remotely being in the 100-mile radius of his seed. It's all for money.
Right. I mean, it's not like he has any physical qualities. I mean, and it's not like he built the Tesla car. I don't know why people don't understand that.
Dude looks like a dolphin that's been beat with a brick. He is not good looking at all.
Maybe he has brain damage from when he got beat up by what's his name? The guy who well, at least allegedly beat up by the Miller, Stephen Miller. I don't know how Miller got the drop on him.
He fell from the ceiling like the little gremlin he is.
Yeah, I guess so. But man, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see what I mean. It's a shame too, because I actually design wise, I actually like the Tesla. But you know,
I like the concept of the Tesla, but those things look like Tonka trucks. They
yeah, the
are not
Tonka trucks are
attractive. Aesthetically, they're not attractive, but the concept of them is still cool.
right.
Somebody would do it right eventually.
Exactly. Okay. To the stage. Why is seeking knowledge?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut something off. I think I learned this from last.
Yeah, I got StreamYard now, so I'm not struggle streaming.
Okay, now I think I got it this time. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We're on Elon, if I'm not mistaken.
That yeah, we are definitely on Elon.
Elon, I mean, we are in some crazy times. I mean, if we just must look at this whole thing together, he is a privileged child, and he bought his way to be in position of, where he is in the United States and get to run and control things. I mean, it's just like playing with any other toy. I mean, for Christmas, if you got all them tracks, racing tracks, and you got to run them and things or whatever like that, he's like running what he wants to run, and he's paid his way, and he gets a lot of credibility because he just has money. If you have money, you just get all this credibility, and he's just swooning all in it. Like you can see him, he gets to be high. He doesn't really have to respond for a drug test or anything like that, like us smaller people do in life. We can't do this. We have to be, set in the grid, and we have to wake up from 7 to 5 or whatever, and go to work and do this and that. He doesn't really have to do any of that. So you see him behaving this way and doing, he can really kind of do what he wants, at this point. And so that's what we're seeing here in him.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I mean, he better watch it, and I'll tell you why. Because if this keeps on like this, and he's going to get exposed for maybe not being as smart as we really think he is.
Who thought he was smart? He ain't smart. He surrounded himself with smart people. It's just like the Orange Man. He is not smart either. But when he knows when to get certain people in his arena.
Right.
Well,
Most
you can
of the
be
time he's
smart.
okay with idiots.
I'm sorry. You can be smart for buying the right stocks. I mean, that doesn't make you extremely intelligent for just lucking up and buying the right stocks or making the right investment. And I think that's the only thing that kind of stands him and sets him out. Not that he's really internally smart, is that he made good decisions somewhere. And that's it. I mean, even if you look at Donald Trump, if you watch that movie, The Apprentice, he sided with that one guy, which is why I believe that he wears diapers to this day. Because we seeing how dude handled business.
Damn.
Okay. And now that causes incontinence. What dude was doing in that movie, he took that to get his way up. And he got his way up after he'd messed with that dude in that movie, The Apprentice. Okay. Anybody wonder why this thing wear diapers? And he turned on, after he came up, he turned on him. Ooh, y'all never seen that movie, The Apprentice? Please watch it.
I need to see that.
Please watch it. Please watch it. You see why this dude wearing diapers today.
I would even question if Elon picked those stocks. I think he's kind of like the Orange Man. He surrounds himself with people who do the work for him. I think he might have been acquainted with somebody who knew a little bit more about the stocks and followed some good advice. But I don't think he just pulled that out the blue of his own research and studying. I don't believe it.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you too, but it's like the ones who run the world, unfortunately, I don't care if it's the Illuminati or the powers that were the elite or whatever you call them, money is just like a major factor. The more you have, the more consideration you're going to have. Okay. And who you are is very important. And, just like a chess game, you get to sit at the table and move pieces. We can't move pieces. where we are. We can talk about who's moving pieces and how upset we are about it, but they're moving pieces. They got money. It's unfortunate, and it's very damaging to the public and the main, and the society as a whole. But they get to move pieces.
Takes money to make money.
Check this out. I got something good. I think you guys are going to be very intrigued by it. Let me put it in the mix. Here we go.
The culture in which they grew up with was not this culture.
Let me
in which
pause that. Get a little more volume on it.
Okay.
Oops, what did I just do? Okay.
Black kids grew up in America today.
So they
There's
had
no gangster rap that was pervasively available in Germany. I mean, the average of black kid today, I think, is probably better off, certainly materially, than say Ben Carson was when he was growing up.
Ben Carson, the famous
Black
surgeon
neuroscientist.
at Johns Hopkins.
Right, right.
Who is immensely accomplished in every way.
Yes.
Right.
I would say that certainly the black kids who are growing up today have a higher material standard of living than I had. The difference was that the schools were good when I came along. They were especially good in New York at that time, hard as that is to believe. But the kids who grew up in that same place where I lived, they will not get that same education. Now that can be blamed on somebody, but it has very little to do with what happened 100 or 200 years ago. And it's true in other countries. I mean, in Nigeria, for example, there's a tribe, the Igbos, who are living in one of the least fertile parts of Nigeria, who were in fact enslaved in centuries past by other tribes and so on. When the British moved in and set up schools, the Igbos went for the schools. By the time Nigeria became independent, the Igbos had climbed above the other groups that had been ahead of them to begin with. So
Let's go over that point. Agree, disagree, or what do you think? What's going through your mind?
He lost me at the beginning, though. I mean, that's the going after the schools. That's a powerful point. But I mean, first of all, Black culture just isn't the problem. Racism, inequality, and systematic oppression are. Black culture didn't create mass incarceration, redlining, underfunding schools, or employment discrimination. Those are systems that are built against us. And blaming the culture is just lazy. It shifts the blame away from people in power to the people fighting to survive.
Yes, and then he wanted to change the point and send it over to Nigeria, talking about the Igbo people and all these things like this, and trying to contrast, their society and try to compare it. Okay, when you have colonization over there, you still got people. I went over to Africa. They still don't have plumbing and buildings and things like that. They still don't have sidewalks and like the villages and stuff, and they're digging holes and dumping them out. All the men come outside, things like this. I mean, for them to be the richest with resources, that's Mother Earth over there in Africa, and it's feeding this whole world. For those people to be, in the positions and for society to be like it is, what the dollar is worth over there, for these children to be dying in mines and things like that, for him to sit here and act, to pretend to be extremely educated and to make that comparison, he lost all my respect right there.
I'm looking at his outfit, and it's obvious to me that he doesn't know how things fit together. He needs to educate himself because that is not working. What some people call Black culture is often just what they really don't understand. So critics like him conflate Black culture with poverty, which is economic. That's not cultural. Or single parenthood, which happens in every race. Or popular rap lyrics, which is not the entire Black experience. That's not culture. That's just cherry picking our pain and ignoring the full picture.
Exactly. And he's sitting up there like one who is truly, aspired such things and has, you know, this outlook, over it all since he's one who has aspired. So that's why, I mean, they even have him, on this panel on this, and they're interviewing him. And this carries a lot of weight with white people, is what people like to say. That's why we had all these black politicians that were saying a lot of things that really hurt me a lot. That they were actually these red pill, not red pill, these black Republican. Like we had the black Nazi that was in the porn rooms and things like that, who was just talking about black people, so horribly, and you just got them out there just throwing us all under the bus. They come in all types. This is just one of the more mellow types that comes. He's out there. He's just sprinkling his little seeds. If they fall into fertile ground, they will grow. But he's sowing seeds, of throwing us under the bus, as well as the other ones who are just blatantly doing it.
I need him to define culture. Dancing around the topic. He just tiptoeing. I mean, black culture produces brilliance in spite of everything. So you have your jazz, hip hop, gospel, fashion, social justice, literature, invention. I mean, black culture isn't about destruction. It's about survival, creativity, resistance, and excellence. If black culture was so toxic, why does the world keep stealing it from us while denying us our humanity?
Exactly. Oh my God, you just said a word right there. We are like the seasoning salt of the world of mayonnaise. You know what I mean? And that's just a very extremely simplified way of saying what you're saying. It's like you're right. They starve for us, which is one reason I believe they never really got rid. They could have really eliminated from us. They could have sent us all back to quote unquote Africa thing, but they love what comes off of us when they oppress us. The cream of us that rises to the top is like they're crackheads for it.
I'm looking at his hairline. I don't think he's of the culture.
He got a Becky at home. Yeah, he got a Becky at home. I would bet money. I don't know who he is, but he appears that he has mixed children, or a male counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's play a little bit more. Let's see where he goes with this.
There are all kinds of cross currents of factors. The particular culture, or the particular geography. You run through the whole.
I just think for him being, I guess, a renowned, whatever he is, he'd be a little bit more granular, a little bit more sophisticated with his delivery. As far as what I don't know, I just
whole list of them.
You cite in Intellectuals and Race, you cite an observation by the intelligence expert, IQ scientist James Flynn, that just stopped me cold. After the Second World War, you've got large numbers of American troops remaining in Germany. For that matter, there's still several tens of thousands there today. And both black and white American soldiers had children with German women. And Flynn discovered that those children growing up in Germany showed no IQ differences at all. The black kids and the white kids, the same. Quoting Intellectuals and Race, Professor Flynn concluded that the reason was that the offspring of black soldiers in Germany, and now you're quoting Professor Flynn, grew up in a nation with no black subculture. Close.
I had to look him up real quick because I didn't know who he was. He's educated. His bachelor's is in economics from Harvard. His master's is from Columbia, and his PhD is in economics. He is an economics educated person. So why he writing on race, I do not know. But his specialty is economics, and he's known for being, for the past 50 years, a conservative voice.
Well, he should be more knowledgeable than most about the redlining, and all of the things that were done to us socially to keep their foot on our necks and make sure that we don't go anywhere, economically. So he shouldn't, with him having all those degrees in economics, he should have more of a tender heart for his own kind and his race, because he knows for sure what has been done to keep us back and to keep us from attaining and securing, and all, Lake Lanier and all the, the Black Wall Streets, and how many towns they flooded out, and how many, he should know economically he should be smarter than most about that, and shouldn't have his conversation turning around right now where he seems like he's saying Black people is kind of their issue or their fault.
It's exactly what he's saying, because his big thing is he's championing individual responsibility, traditional values. That's his whole thing. It doesn't matter. It's not systematic racism. It's culture and behavior. That's his whole thing. I'm looking at his list of books that he wrote. None of them about economics.
I think the issue he has is it appears that his initial argument, I don't mind. That's fine. You can make your initial argument. The problem is that he's not, and I guess that's what I want to say, it's not granular. He's not even taking account what would you call it? Very tangible statistics as it pertains to, discrimination, redlining, and everything that was just mentioned. You just mentioned, because those are things that keep people from being successful, or at least as successful as maybe they should be. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that there's a culture of Black men who will never be successful. They're just, they have it in they're the 50 cents. Even though he was successful in his own way, the mentality, I guess I'm talking about. But the issue is he's not taking in account, in a conversation that he should be, the obstacles that our culture has. He doesn't mention that Black Wall Street, which was very successful, which could have been our epicenter of success right there. So, yeah.
And there were many towns like that. Other ones that they just flooded out. Other ones that they just got mad and blew them all up. You know what I mean? We will never, those are just the two that they just tend to, I guess those are the most successful ones. And you got Lake Lanier, the ancestors just snatched them up, a white person here and there, and drown them, So they still talk about that. You bold enough to go, swimming on that thing, then they be like, hey, you need a t-shirt when you come off of there, because the ancestors be in there snatching them up. Okay, because they really was, their presence is there real strong. That's what they say. Okay, I've read a lot about that place. But this one, Princella wrote a book. She wrote a book about the 40 Shades of Men or whatever. Okay, this is just another one. He is like another Kevin Samuels type. But do you see, this one is truly educated. Said Kevin Samuels was just an archetype, unintelligent one who was just pushing the red pill agenda or whatever. But look, this is a polished, very polished, educated one who's still profiting from throwing Black people under. Kevin Samuels threw Black women under the bus. This one is throwing Black people under the bus for profit, because his degree, like she said, is not in his degrees are in finance and things like that. His degrees is not in, social constructs and things like that. It's not, yeah. But look where he's trying to get in and make his money at. Like this, Kevin Samuels didn't start there either. He was raising men up like, you should wear this, and get the barnacles off your butt. Women don't want that, and women this and that. He was telling men, you got to be better people, but that wasn't making any money. The minute he started bashing women, his views went up. Okay, his subscribers went up, his money went up, everything went up. So that maybe this person say, hey, there's money in bashing. I mean, we talk about that, the statistics in bashing Black women They make the most money. Those videos make the most money. Those people who bring those out here, those channels make the most money. So, I mean, if he's in finance, he's like, well, hey, I can get some too if I just bash my own folk. Maybe he got a mortgage, or he got 2 or 3 properties in different places, or maybe he planning to move to Thailand. So he's getting out here now, throwing his people under the bus to make whatever, financial thing he wants to happen for himself happen. But we getting thrown under the bus with this dude.
Bars. Let me play this clip right here. Where is it at? Oh.
YNW Melly is still behind bars in 2025. His bond was denied, and his retrial is set for September 10 th. He's facing life in prison for the double murder of his 2 best friends. Will Melly beat the case, or spend the rest of his life locked up?
Why do they want him to get out? I mean, I think it's an important that if there's any concern or aspect I have with our culture is like, they know he did it, right? Just like they knew R. Kelly did what he did, right? And they know Diddy did what he did, right? Why are these people, men or women, wanting these people out?
I don't know the circumstances behind YMW Nelly, and I've heard it. Kendrick said it in his song, and I'm like, ooh. So we all, ooh. I understand that he quote unquote supposedly did this, but I mean, I don't know the circumstances. Do you DJ? Was it in self defense? Were they planning to kill him or plot to kill him? Was it in self defense? I don't know any of the details with YMW Nelly. Do you?
Yeah, basically, I can tell you the structure of it all. Basically, he was walking around a car. He got in an argument with one of his friends. These are his friends. I mean, like, not just acquaintances, but friends, right? And basically, he got angry, and he lost his temper. And they all always have guns. At least, I mean, these guys did. And boom, boom. And there's actually some video on it. I don't have it with me right here, but yeah, it's enough that he's been kept in jail for 3 years. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
So
some people just don't believe he did it. I think most people know he did, and they just don't care. He's a tortured artist. He's a real one. He's a condemned soul. They have all this sympathy for somebody they put on the pedestal that they don't know personally.
Right.
They don't have any sympathy for the victims. And some of these dudes, it's about fighting the system. You got to stay loyal to the streets. You got to be real. You can't give in to authority. That whole red pill mess,
Right.
It has little to do with justice and a whole bunch to do with people who embrace a culture that confuses pain with power. We need to get past that and look at our own personal morals. Try to feel what the victim and the families are feeling.
Exactly. Okay, one more. Here we go.
This video might make you uncomfortable, but it needs to be made. There's a growing sentiment, most recently, of individuals who are proclaiming they do have black fatigue. And you don't have to be a non-black person to have black fatigue. What does that phrase actually mean? Essentially, black fatigue is a growing weariness of the actions of the quote unquote black community. But it goes deeper than that, because we are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. But the interesting part is, the lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional black person to act. In their minds, there is a correct way to act black. And the people in your ethnic group who fulfill those very negative stereotypes, those are the ones who are going to essentially drag down the collective whole. And that's why there's individuals who are black who do and can have black fatigue, because they see how damaging it is to see the worst of us attract all this negative attention that then unfortunately gets ascribed to the entire race all too often. But
what do you think?
He needs to shut up. You know, I mean, he just really pissed me. I'm sorry. I tried to come a little bit better than that, but I mean, the way he broke it down, okay, saying that, and this black guy is trying to say that, you know, these people. I mean, I can understand because I kind of feel like he feels. You have, I think comedian Chris Rock must have said it the best. You have black folk and you have ends. You know what I mean? And
Right.
black folk can hate ends. We all understand that because they do make. I mean, they do the shootings every weekend, this and that. We just trying to live, you know, normal lives and things like that, and survive and come up with and fought and all this stuff. Got the civil rights. You know, Martin Luther King died, and you know, Medgar Evers and all. Listen, and we've been hanging on to each other. But then these fools do all of these things everywhere. I can understand what he's saying, but then he ridiculed it before he threw it out there. He ridiculed the whole thing before he even spoke on the black man.
Right.
Tiffany put her finger right on it. The whole problem I have with this conversation about black fatigue is that's not what it is. It's not something brand new. It is a sociological concept that has been established. The definition of black fatigue is the chronic emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion experienced by black people from having to live under the constant pressure of racism in everyday life, work, education, healthcare, media, social spaces. It's not just being tired. It's like having the code switch at work so your job is safe, or smiling through microaggressions, like when people touch black women's hair, or watching another social media video of the police gunning a black person down, or carrying just generational trauma and still being expected to perform and smile through pain, being gaslit when you speak up, getting asked to explain racism to the very people benefiting from it. It's being strong even when you shattered. And that's what black fatigue is. It's like woke. They keep changing definitions of stuff that have definitions already. If they're tired of hearing about racism, imagine how tired we are of living it. Black fatigue isn't weakness. It's the wear and tear from surviving in a world that was never built for us. So no, I'm not just tired. I am done explaining my humanity. You get to be over it. I got to wake up and live it. And the difference between their discomfort and my reality is what black fatigue is.
Exactly. But they've changed. You're right. Because that is not the definition of it, is what he's talking. We do get tired of those things within our existence, but I'm agreeing 100% with what you said. That is the true definition of black fatigue, is what you just said. And that's what's been out there all this time. But now, since we're white, white fatigue, they want to change the whole definition of what black fatigue. They just want to pull us in and just say, because we tired of those, those who are among us who don't perform and don't do things. That is not the definition of it. I agree 100% with you.
Excellent. Well, so let me play the last little piece here. Let's see if he has any.
What's unfortunate is here in 2025, now we have to contend with the fact that there's people who are so sick and tired of seeing those negative aspects, those negative individuals in the black community attracting all this attention. That's what is spurring this black fatigue. I think it's something that needs to be talked about. And until we turn inward and address the issues in our own communities, I fear that this is only going to continue and get worse. And that's exactly what the powers that be want. They want to have us against each other instead of us against those who are really pulling the strings in the back.
All right, let's see here. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, did he say anything extra that changes your view either way? It doesn't, I mean, I think both of you nailed it, to be honest with you.
Well, no, he basically said what we said that he was going to say. He is like putting forth the narrative. He's putting forth the narrative that this thing that they have, translated now to be, black fatigue. They white people's like, oh, we're just tired of hearing you say, that's white fatigue. That's the that's the whole basis of their. We're tired of hearing how bad you say we do you. We're tired. Ours is built on everything, all of our oppression, all the getting killed by police, all the stretches, all the red line, all the grid that we've been put in, all the, everything evil that they do and all the time. And they're always diabolical. They're so diabolical. And they're always thinking more and more and more and more, to always oppress and keep their foot on the neck of the black. That is our fatigue, is the everyday pushing and surviving through and overcoming through. And like she said, and being quiet and just biting your lips sometimes. And isn't that to try to make sure you put food on the table and make sure that you stay stable and secure in this environment and things like that. That is black fatigue. We're going to be more tired than everybody else because we're fighting different demons. They don't fight those. They're fleeing. It's like, I'm white, so yeah, my world is, they don't deal with the things that we deal with. For him to actually go along with the program and say it like that. And then he said it in his best little white voice. It was like he just doctored it all up real nice. Yeah. You can tell, like, when he get off the camera, he doesn't even talk like that.
I agree. I picked that up too.
They're creating the demons for us. That media and politics profit off of our division. If we're not united against the real threats, racism, economic oppression, police brutality, generational disenfranchisement, then if they keep us divided, then we'll never get organized and unified and rise. Because what they know is what we know deep down in our souls. They want us divided because unity is power. But the moment we see each other as mirrors and not as competition, we will become unstoppable.
Bars.
And I need to just say this too. A lot of that is going to start with our men. And a big divisive tactic that have been put on us. And this is even dividing the white community, which is why we had a bunch of Trump supporters. And there's a lot of divorces that didn't happen. And there's a lot of, because of the autonomy of women and devices and things like that amongst women, things like that. Men are voting against. Women don't want to date red pill men, and men want to vote. They want to date liberal women so they can bring her down a peg and humble her and get her with a baby and throw her in the house. These type of things, the patriarchy and religion. These things, if our black men don't realize that they need to be on tandem and be teammates with their women, you are not going to be like the white man. He can step on her neck. Yeah, this and that, whatever. She's mine. I have a big, 2-4 acre home and we this and that. And I send my kids. His salary is going to support him. Yours ain't. Yours ain't. You going to need to be a partner with your woman. And then she had the one up on you. She had the most degrees out of everybody. That's why they so mad they cut the Department of Education out, because she had more degrees than white men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, and the black woman, because she had no support. Her men drove her to the point where she ran to get educated more than anyone, because she have no one that has her back. No one.
True.
Okay. So for these people to sit there, and say this, for this guy to sit there and say what he said without really, they so quick to throw their women under the bus. Men are the key to this, but believe it or not, we say, I don't need no man's business. If our men get on code, get on right, treat us like partners, give us respect like they supposed to, and we can team up, really be partners and fight this thing together, we won't be able to be stopped. But as long as they grabbing they gonads and going to jail and all this red pill dialogue, yeah, man, ain't no woman gonna ever do this, all that stupid stuff like that, we ain't going nowhere. We've been trying to look, we've been fighting and doing it all by ourselves. They done wiped out DEI. Most people who had jobs, the most people who got affected during that were black women. See, when they showed it on the news, they had white people. Yeah, it's really hard. I lost my job. But when they took all the statistics out, most people who lost their jobs were black women, which means that's a whole. Thank you. They didn't say that. They just put a couple white faces on the news real quick. But who really got affected was these black homes where black men don't want to support their kids, who them baby dumped and ran through you like a pogo stick peen, boing, 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 got babies in 4 or 5 different places. Listen, okay? We can't unless a man understands his value and understand we amongst enemies, me and you together with our black skin is here amongst enemies until he understands that and say, baby, look, I got you, you got me, I got you, you got me. Let's have one another. We gonna fight this thing. If he can't get it, he's still grabbing his gonads, thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, I'm supposed to lead up on the door." If he keep doing, we ain't going nowhere. Period. It ain't happening. He gonna have to wake up.
I'm at a loss though. Who is going to deliver that message? Because black women have been saying it forever.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
some black men, they're just out there performing for the whiteness, while white men protect their power through white womanhood. I mean, when white men protect white women, it's not always about love, it's about ownership disguised as honor. But when
Yes.
black men tear down black women, it's often to climb closer to that power, thinking that distancing themselves from blackness will gain them access. But I mean, in the end, that performance won't save them. And it's always the black women catching the disrespect. So who's going to deliver the message? Black men, you need to save yourself.
Right.
Until
I
they
think that's
value themselves. Until they value themselves and us and our culture. If they always hunt about, I'm the protector, I'm provider. You know, I mean, I don't even think they know. I don't think they can provide a true definition of what those things mean, but they pop out their mouth the minute you say, what does a black man supposed to do? What is a man supposed to do? Provide and protect. Okay. You're not supposed to be on websites demeaning your women. You're
right.
not supposed to be talking about all these things we're all in the earshot of all these white folks. These things. If you're doing it every day, this kind of stuff, you tearing down our race. You tearing down our stuff. I mean, like you said, I don't know who's supposed to give them the message, but it's like, I don't know. Like you said, we have been trying to give it to them. I don't know. Maybe an act of God will come through and give it to them because they're definitely not listening to us. Because in their world, when they look at the patriarchy, they look at the white man. They want to have everything that the white man has. They want to have it for themselves. So they're like, okay, they can do that to their women. They can leave them at home. That's why they won't stay at home women. Y'all can't afford stay at home with a $30,000, $40,000 a year salary. You can't afford a stay at home wife.
I try to grant black men a little grace somewhat because I understand that historically they weren't allowed to protect or even claim black women. They were dehumanized and emasculated and separated from their families. But those days are gone, but the trauma never got healed. So the same black men are still chasing the validation to distance themselves from black women instead of protecting them. They have to
But
heal
wait a minute.
themselves.
Okay, on the same note, sis, if you gonna say that, then okay, it is proven then that we are meant to be a matriarchal society because our men are weaker than us. Because how can we still rise, get to be the highest degree holders in this land since we only got to have rights after my birth? I'm here. I'm pushing 60, okay? I'm just gonna tell y'all where I'm at. But my little life when I was born here, my mama still couldn't own property. My mama couldn't own a credit card. At my birth, nothing without a man. So during that time we have fought, made incredible gains. Just us women by ourselves enduring everything from men, getting ran through by all these weak promises, getting jumped through like they got pogo sticks, on their peens or whatever. All this You hear me? But look what we have risen. So apparently we are meant to be matriarchal because our men are not proving that they can't, because we all got out of it. Okay. So what did they do? It's like, oh, okay, we out of slavery. What happens now? They just devoted themselves to the penal system. Okay. And jumping through women, not respect. If they respected their women, we'd be further off. They always complain about talking about the Mexicans come here, they respect him more. Oh, the Arabs come here. All of them brown. They got some method of browning, and of course there's a hierarchy. We understand that too, but they respect them. They marry their wives. They take care of their children. They go to work every day.
Say that we made it
Okay,
okay as
those races do that. But you can't expect them to turn around and respect you when then they say these niggers contribute to the welfare system because you're not working and you're not doing that. If they would have just stuck with their women, if you can't get a good job like that, you stay at home, you comb hair, you this and that, you be there for her, and then you do a little job at night or whatever. If you did what you were supposed to do instead of saying, well, I can't be like the white man, so I'm just gonna dog my whole woman out. That's a loser move. He's not strong as the black woman. She kept on going. We kept on moving and we kept on going. If he would have kept on going right along with us with that strength and that power, we would be further. But we must be matriarchal, period.
I think that's how our society has functioned through matriarchy. Black women did not have a way to escape like certain men did. We had to hold down the family. We had to raise each other's kids. We had to be the backbone of the community. I wouldn't say that Black women made it out okay. We just did not have the option to fail. If Black women had failed, we would not be sitting here today. But some of the men had the option to escape their responsibility, to wallow in their trauma, to not take up their responsibility and not answer for the things they do wrong that hurt the community.
Okay, but that can't be an excuse for them when they claim to be providers, protectors, to be dominantly strong because they have testosterone and things, and what the role of a man, and then they expect you to respect that role of a man at this point when they didn't do anything to build that within their woman all the way up until this point. Okay. The white man built that all the way from whatever, all to the heritage and the heartland and all this stuff. He's been building that. He's had a constant position to do just that. But it's been a big one. This guy been missing. This guy been moving around. He hasn't been doing this. How do you expect the same thing? I want a woman, subservient in there, stay at home. You can't expect the same thing realistically. You need to understand that this person is your team. And there are a lot of successful marriages now where young men understand this. Hey, we both do this together. It's teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work. Bing, bang, boom. You got power couples and they actually do this. But then you got those who are just insecure. And if the woman do anything, if she just make more money than them, and then that's why they voted for Trump. And no woman isn't that. So you erase all of our civil rights. Everything we fought for hundreds of years, at least 100 years or so since the lynchings of the 50s, and the trees that had bodies hanging from it, this and that, all this stuff. We fought for all this time. Because this B thinks she all that cool, she got a job. You sound so stupid. I mean, this is our man, though. This is our man. He can't be that primitive. He just cannot. After all we suffered and been through, on a big note, this is not all, but a majority of what we deal with. This is their mentality, and this is what we have to deal with.
You're right. They are making excuses. They absolutely are making excuses. But excuses don't fix the harm. Excuses don't raise the kids, and excuses don't build trust. That's where accountability steps in. At some point, I didn't know, and that's just how I was raised. It's not all men stops being a reason, and it starts being a refusal. And if you can name the pattern, you can change the pattern. So we need more good men to step in. So we can ask them, what's really stopping you from succeeding? Being a man doesn't mean being perfect, but it does mean being responsible. And if you're grown enough to make decisions, you should be grown enough to own the outcomes. We need men to change men.
Bars.
Exactly. Exactly. And I do believe that, but it's like the men, the good men, they are in such few number that they feel so outnumbered by, the men who are not good men that, I mean, because it's the taunting that comes. A good man he'll say, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that to a woman. That's wrong. Oh, you a sissy. You a punk. You a fag. Look at Russell Williams. He took his, but he liked her. He like, okay, if I'm gonna be with her, I'm gonna take her child in or whatever. I love her. Bam, I got her everything she won't need. That's my woman. I'm gonna be a man, a provider. I'm all that. They dragged this man to this very. How many years they've been married? Jesus, they dragging him to this very day.
Yeah.
These toxic men, most of them are like that. And you got good men out here like Russell Wilson. They are in such few number that they just be scared to even open their mouth. Scared to open their mouth because it's like they don't want to deal with all that.
Very true.
That's why I love you, DJ. I'm just gonna tell you. Because at least you have you know what I mean? We have a dialogue where we can talk and we can speak. We can discuss such things, stuff like this. I know it ain't always easy for you. And they be coming to drag you to listen. You ain't never failed and you ain't never gave up. I appreciate you so much for that. That is a man in you. You know what I mean? That is, you know what I mean? That is not typical. And is not typical of the average man. So I try to tell you every chance I get. I appreciate you very much for that. But that is not what we typically get. Is
I understand that. Yeah.
that man? Yes.
No,
So, but
I've
if we can do it and we, so quote unquote, we're the weaker sex. See, the patriarchy tells these men that we are weaker, but we are proven to be stronger than our men. This is why they so mad. Well, your degree don't mean nothing to me because you just make nothing. Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you be my slave? I don't care if you got a degree. You know what I mean? They talking some stupid stuff when we both need to survive. If I'm a surgeon and I'm making $200,000 a year, you don't care. You'd rather me bow to you and cook and clean. Your ego is bigger than that. Where are you lost at? I mean, come on, you can't be that broken. But I don't know. They don't respect women. They don't respect their mothers, their aunties, their cousins. They speaking to a whole group of men that they're gonna subject their little nieces to, their cousins to, their mom, their aunties to. That's single. They isn't that. You're actually tainting their brains of these men. You know what I mean? To go and attack your sister, your baby girl, your daughter, if you got one, this and that, you attacking their brain to feel like this against the women in their life. And you don't see anything wrong with that? Our men, we got to stop making excuses for them. They need to, we had to get up. This like, okay, well, we could do it. And we went and got our degrees and we kept our children. But they just dumb and retarded. So we got to give them a special needs pass. And then even over the past 50 years, they special needs pass didn't kick in. And then they still hate us, but we still going to give them it's time out for that. It's time out for that. And then they claiming superiority over us, claiming that they the boss. They supposed to cook my eggs and cook my stuff and I be the boss. They are brainwashed terribly. If they don't learn how to get out of this and learn where we at and be an oppressed people, we are an oppressed people. You're going to have to be my teammate, baby. We're going to have to climb out this pit together. I'm going to have to, claim you. I'm going to have to hold you up. You have to hold me up. We're going to have to get out of here. That's how they did it back in the day. And if these men don't see this and they think they gonna ride the white man's loins and be just like him, we ain't gonna never make it.
All right. Let's yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I want to give Ghost a little time to talk.
Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead, y'all.
Oh no, I went back to my shake. I just want to. I don't know how many men join us, but I'm sliding this in for the replay crowd. Good men, stand strong, stand solid. A man who's emotionally mature, respectful, and unbothered isn't weak, he is whole. And that wholeness exposes what insecure men are trying to hide. They're trying to hide the immaturity, the jealous, the deep wounds they refuse to face. When you've built your identity around being hard, a man who moves in peace and purpose is terrifying. But to the good men, stay steady. You are not too soft, too deep, or too much. You're what the culture needs. Your calm is strength. Your presence is protest. Your love is revolutionary. Keep being the mirror. The ones who can't face it aren't your burden. The ones who are ready will rise because you showed the way.
Bars to both of you. Very well said. Anyway, y'all, it's getting kind of late. It's very late. We're on the East Coast. I appreciate everybody who stayed in and hung in with us.
Oh yeah. And I appreciate you every time, DJ. And it's nice being on the panel with you. I don't see the name up there. I can't call it out.
Ghost. I'm a ghost.
Concrete Ghost.
All right, Concrete Ghost. Hey, I'm listening. I'm learning as well too. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to be on the panel with you tonight. And you're very well spoken. You know, much love to you, sister.
Blessings and peace to you.
All right, everybody. This is DJ Torch. I'd like to thank everyone for checking out the live stream. We have another live stream tomorrow. I think I got to put it together. And then we have another. We'll probably have another ladies' night. After we confirm what's a good night for it, and I'll put it in the mix as well. Thanks to everybody for coming through. This is DJ Torch, and we are out of here tonight.
Good night.